Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. I know that this is a little bit early, but I wanted to make sure that the internet was working well. 1280 by 720. What is my video configuration up to? Guys, I'm gonna have to fix some stuff real quick actually. Skip ahead. There we go. So that's weird. There we go. Come on, that'll fix it, right? What is YouTube doing to me? Oh no. Let's see. Can you guys see me or hear me? Can you see or hear me? Ah! My world is falling apart. Okay, you can see and hear me? So what is YouTube telling me? What is the problem? Oh well. Alright, well I'm glad that you guys are here. Glad that the stream is doing better than YouTube is saying that it is. And glad that we get to all hang out for a little bit of time today. Let's see. Hugs, Epiphany, Valeria, YouTube Helper, yours truly, Kliss, Terry Kian, Retrogade, Emma Marino, Waket Bob the Cow. Gotcha. Okay. AM, Riley Noel. Oh, not anymore, huh? Anki, Emo Attack, everybody. Welcome. Good to have you all here. Glad that you are here. I'm gonna stop for a sec. Oh, it's back? Wait, is it really back? Terry Kian? I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Yours truly, Chris. Yep, I got that right. Wrong. Oh, hey, stream health is good, YouTube says. Let's see if this works. Guys, it always takes a couple of minutes to get started, but we'll figure this out together like a big old funny family. Pause for a little while. Riley Noel. Thank you, Riley. Let me get that link. Everything is good. Don't worry. Thank you. Person who scroll, or Aaron Ganga. Hey, Middle Mac. Thanks for being here. J Nerd, my day was pretty good. R. Elise Flood. What if you are the monster? That's a good question. I'm going to refresh this, see if I can figure some stuff out. Some stuff's not working out so great on my end of things, but we'll figure it out, guys. No big deal. We don't freak out on the Pop Song Professor channel. We just have fun. Don't freak out, just have fun. That's our motto and our metaphor. Sometimes actually I do freak out. That was partially a lie. Let's see. I believe in you and the unicorn. Thank you so much, J-Nerd. Can we ask questions whatever, or is there a designated time? Great question. Yeah, you can actually throw questions in any time. I've got a lot of questions that I have to respond to that I got from a different place from my email list. In fact, you guys can sign up for my email list if you get the free magical songwriting process in the description. Go to that link, you'll get on my email list, and you'll get, every once in a while I'll put out like, hey, ask me questions and all that good stuff. So you are welcome to sign up there and get access to all of those goodies. Let me see. You guys say it's frozen. Wow. Okay, looks like it's working now. Cool. Megan, you're so welcome. Thanks for being here. Bob the Cow, I do like gorillas. Yes. What is the meaning of life? Whoa, not those kinds of questions. A lot of these are going to basically be, you're welcome to ask questions about me if you want, but the focus is going to be on how to write song lyrics. So let's go ahead and start with the first question. Feel free to throw questions in there. They can be personal or just about lyric writing in general. Happy to help with whatever, guys. Let's do it. As soon as I double check one more thing about the stream. Yeah, it looks like it's just not working on my YouTube page, but it's working fine for the rest of the world. Oh well. Cool. All right. JK, you're great. Thanks, Bringer of Night. Thanks for loving almost my comment. Almost my comments. How did I turn my thoughts into lyrics? I know that's a very stupid question, but I'm new to songwriting and trying to get better, so I'm just asking for tips. You know what? I think we're going to get to that question. How do you turn your thoughts into lyrics? You got to start by writing them down is the first step. How do I write an argumentative essay for my college English class? Remember that everything is an argument, no matter what, and have a good thesis statement. Let's go ahead and jump into this question, this lovely question I've got below my face. The person requested to remain anonymous, and I will respect the request from mystery person. But basically, here is what's happening. He asks, my biggest struggle would be expressing my feelings in lyrical form in an original way, rather than throwing out the same old cliches. That's a really good question, and a lot of people struggle with that, particularly Avril Lavigne, as Megan was pointing out to me earlier today, and Jason Derulo, and Katy Perry, and lots of other people. So you're in good company. At least you're in rich company. So I wouldn't stress out about it too much. But the basic idea is if you're going to express your feelings in lyrical form rather than throwing out the old same cliches, is you got to get to know yourself. And so a lot of that starts with journaling and asking, what am I trying to say here? Who am I? What is this? What about me is unique to this situation? And if you can explain that, then you're on your way to starting to write the cliches. Usually cliche is like a Band-Aid fix to expressing something. So you got to journal and kind of uncover your feelings and get to know them as you get to know yourself. So good question. Let me hop on to the next question. Oh. Wow. How? This might actually not be as quick as I wanted it to be. We'll just go for it. There we go. How do I write lyrics that express... How do I write lyrics that express negative feelings towards someone or something without it coming across as petty? And how do I write lyrics that express positive feelings towards someone or something without it feeling cliche, boring, and fake? That is a really good question. So if you're going to be disappointed in somebody and you want to express your feelings about them in a way, you want to express negative feelings, I think you got to be honest. And you have to not be petty. That's probably just the easy solution there, is you have to ask, is this petty? And if it's not, then don't say it. If you think that it is petty, the quickest solution is just to not write it, or to write it and then ask yourself, am I being petty? Do some self-analysis, some self-understanding, get to know yourself. Again, that's a key point. And then decide, is there a way, like what's the heart of this matter? What's the deep issue? What's the truth of this statement? And then ask yourself, how can I tap into that truth and just say the truth, all right? So get to that core, simplify it down really, really small, and then you can start to decorate it and explain it, but you have to cut away all the pettiness first. So there is that question. That was from Mallory. Next one is from Yalith, and he asks, or maybe she, how do you make metaphors sound good? I feel like when I write using metaphors, they sound cheap and shallow. That is a really good question because I think a lot of people struggle with the same thing. As you can see there's the question. Woohoo! So how do you make metaphors sound good? I feel like when I write using metaphors, they sound cheap and shallow. That's a good question. I think you have to commit to them to an extent. Sometimes people will just throw in like one quick metaphor, one reference to it, and then they'll just leave it there and we'll be like, wait a second, I thought you were going to tell us more about that metaphor. Like March to the Sea wouldn't have been a good song if he had just talked about marching to the sea for 2 lines and then started talking about something else. I think the big thing, and that's more an extended metaphor where the whole song is about the metaphor. And I think that you have to decide, is it going to be extended metaphor, is it going to be a small metaphor? And you have to very clearly differentiate between the two. So if it's extended, you got to commit. But to be fair, if you're just going to do like a small metaphor, the best way to make it good is to make it unique and just to make it something that you haven't heard other people do before. Let me hit up a couple of questions in the chat, and then I'll get back to these lyric writing ones. Poof, I have complete control of what you see on the screen. How fun. All right. Should you start by writing a story and then making a song? It depends. Lots of people can do it different ways. I've had success doing them both at the same time, just like playing some chords and then being like, all right, what kind of words would sound here? What kind of story would I want to tell to this chord structure? And then other times you might say, hey, I've got the story I want to tell, and you write it down, and then you decide to add music to it. And then even still other times, you might just put a bunch of music together, and you might have a bunch of lyrics together sitting around, and then at one point you just decide, actually, these would be pretty good fits for each other, and it just sort of happens. I wouldn't think about it too much. I would just make things that you want to make, write things you want to write, and make music you want to make. Music you want to music. How do I find words for a more complex rhyme scheme? Rhymezone.com is really, really good. I have a reading exam tomorrow. How can you help me? Well, you should go learn how to read. That's my advice. YouTube helper. And thanks R. Elise Flood and Reed Shot for your questions. Bringer of Night, how do you force yourself to listen to the frickin' music on the radio when your mom plays it in the car? You know what I learned to do is I like to try to identify the beliefs underneath the music, or I try to identify how they're writing the songs. So if you can analyze it intelligently, you can get something out of anything. Dark Chocolate, hey, why don't you cover any Alanis Morissette songs? Is she still making music? I don't know if she would necessarily fit under the, quote, pop song professor anymore. Maybe 15 years ago? Not super familiar with Alanis Morissette, but I'd still explain a song by her for sure, especially the one with the bad grammar, because that seems like fun. Walketh Bob, otherwise known as Bob the Cow. Have you heard the album Humans? It was a really cool ongoing story about the end of the world that is told in each song. By Gorillaz? Yes, I have. Very fun. Very good one. Okay, Red X Purple asks a really good question. How do I critique other people's work? My friend is a writer and she always wants feedback, but I never know what to say other than, it's good, LOL. Well, first of all, send her to my channel. I'll help her out. And then, that's a good question. I find that the best way to do that is to look at the song on a few different levels. And you have to start by asking yourself questions. If you're looking to help a friend critique some lyrics, write these down. Question number 1, is the story consistent? Or does it tell a story? So does something develop? And does it tell one story? We'll just say that. Does it tell one story? A lot of times people will try to tell multiple stories and it'll get too complicated and you got to narrow it down and focus on just a specific thing. That's one good way to help a friend. Next thing, I'll ask the same question about each stanza. So does this stanza just tell one story or this verse just tell one story? And then if it doesn't and it tells 2 stories, split it in half, basically. It's a good way to do it. And then ask yourself, are there any cliche lines in here, phrases that have been overused, or opportunities? I like to think of them as opportunities to go deeper and for your friend to say what she wants to say and what's true to her as a person. So those 3 questions hopefully will be helpful to you. How do I stop embarrassing myself by dancing to my favorite songs? I haven't figured that out yet. There's not a solution. Just go for it. All right, let me take a look at some of the other questions that I am knocking out. Let's see. Amanda, if you're watching, I got your email. I will get back to you. Kenya Lee asks, how can you make a beat that you love but make it keep going and changing? And don't know much about beats, so unfortunately I don't really know the answer to that one. Let's take this question from Marina. Marina and the Diamonds. Nope, that's not true. Not that Marina. Still a great Marina, though. Don't worry, Marina. We love you. All right. My biggest lyric struggle is how to write down all my thoughts in a song in some lyrics. I don't know if I'm expressing myself correctly through these lyrics and if they make sense at all. All these thoughts may make it confusing and incomprehensible, and it won't be a song anymore. Yeah, a lot of that is not a super easy answer to that question. A lot of it's just going to be self-correcting, taking a look at what you've done, reading it out loud, checking it by friends. And I would replace the word song in your question at the very end with the word story. Are you telling a story here? Is something happening? Are people either changing or are we diving deeper into who people are? Something like that. So much of art, almost everything in the world is a story. And song lyrics, not least among which. You could probably think of a few songs that are legitimate stories. But then a lot of songs are music, like they tell the story through the music or they tell the story through the intensity of the verses as things get more and more serious. Or you tell the story because the verses are very low key, but then the choruses are intense. And there's a lot of different ways to tell that story, but the focus should be always tell the story. But don't just tell the story, tell your story. All right, so Alex, the musician, asks, editing. It takes such a long time to make everything work nicely. I'd appreciate any advice on editing. That is a good question. Let me pull up my magical songwriting process and see if I have any tips in here for you guys. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Okay, so this is my magical songwriting process. You know what? I'm just going to open it up and freaking show it to you guys because you guys deserve it. Would taking a Alex H, Would taking a writing poetry class help at all with writing lyrical content? Next semester at school, I'm taking that exact class. Oh, for sure. There's a lot of principles that carry over. You have to remember that they're not exactly the same, and lyrics can rely on the music more, and they can just be, I think, overall a little bit zanier because the music's there to back them up. But there's a lot of principles, particularly looking for principles of specificity and sound correlation. So, magical songwriting process. Let's do it. There we go. All right, so you guys should still be able to hear me. This is the magical songwriting process, and if you go to the link in the description and sign up, I will email this to you, not mail it to you. But the magical songwriting process is 9 steps. And the person, Alex, the songwriter, who was asking about editing, good question. I would say probably the easiest thing to do is particularly rounds up in step 8, revise for unity, sound, and clarity. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by saying like, oh gosh, I got to edit the whole thing and make it perfect. Well, just go and edit for certain things. So do a top level. Am I telling the story well overall through the stanzas, and is there a good flow? Then look at each individual stanza and say, is this stanza pleasing to the ear? Does it tell part of the story? And is there any parts that are cliche or that I don't like? And then just do like a word by word level and say, are things rhyming? Am I using good alliteration if I decide to use that? Is the repetition good? And just start with what's most important first, the story. Work your way through organization and then get into the sounds. And if you use a process rather than just going at it blind, it'll really help. All right. Let's see about another one. James asks, how do you use metaphors effectively so your lyrics are relatable and do not reveal too much personally about yourself? Ooh, hey, in the chat, how many of you guys want to hear the answer to this one? Because I think that's a really good question. Pow, 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 pow. Right there. So the answer to this question, it can be hard, for sure. I would say relatability is an overused concept. There's too much of people worrying about it in music and in lyrics. I would say it's better to be honest than to be relatable. And if you are honest, relatability will come. And a lot of being honest comes with not trying to be somebody you're not, or not trying to be relatable. No, you've got to just try to be you. And once you're you, people will appreciate you for who you are and they will trust you. And at the moment that they trust you is the moment that you will become relatable. So just to say that to start into it, and then do not reveal too much personally about yourself. I mean, you just got to pick metaphors that are going to be unique. You want to pick a metaphor that's not too, well, I mean, you could always test it with somebody who actually knows, or somebody who doesn't know. Be like, I've got a gambling problem, so I use the metaphor of sitting on cactuses. Here's the song. What do you think? And if they think, wow, I think you have a gambling problem, you've probably gone a step too far. That is just a joke. But I would say it's a balancing act. It's not going to be easy. But within the metaphor, be honest with yourself. So what I'm saying by that is a lot of people will say, you know, maybe from a faith-based perspective, people say, I got religion and everything was all of a sudden great in my life. And you might have a metaphor where, you know, the metaphor is that you got this really great cactus. And in the metaphor, you're like, I got this cactus and all my porcupines were happy. Well, that's not necessarily honest, because just because you get a cactus doesn't mean all the porcupines are going to be happy. Like, just because you have religion doesn't mean that all of your days are going to be really good. So make sure that even when you have this metaphor that describes things, even more important than being relatable or getting too close to relating about yourself is just that it's honest. So that's the answer that I shall give to you, James, and your good question. Ooh, this is a good question. And then I'll hop back into the chat after this one. So, how do I find the right words to express myself when I feel like I'm just copy-pasting other people's work? How do I keep my lyrics original and true at the same time? First of all, copying and pasting people isn't that big a deal. You don't want to, I mean, copy-paste is a strong word, but using other people's things, like Taylor Swift uses a very specific stanza structure, and you say, hey, I want to borrow that stanza structure, and I want to do verse, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, and just do exactly what Taylor Swift did. That might be copy-pasting her stanza structure, but it's not a bad thing to do. Like, you can kind of, it's like learning to crawl before you can walk before you can run, stuff like that. And before you know it, you'll be making your own stuff. But even then, you might decide to go back and do the one that Taylor Swift did in the past, just because it was fun or you think it would be a good choice. The copy pasting usually comes in with the cliches, and you might find yourself writing in somebody else's lyrics. I really think the key there is just to journal, and if you keep using more and more words, you eventually will get past the ones that are not your own, and you'll eventually get to yourself. But it is the hard work of journaling. I think the number one tip I would give to any song lyric writer is just you've got to journal for sure. Let's see what questions are popping up in my chat. What's your problem with cactuses, or I guess your obsession with them? Fair question. It's just that I'm really bad at giving examples. How to write about new things, Yaz Ali says. I feel like I wrote about a lot of things in different ways. Hard to find new ideas. Yeah, journaling, again, is a really good way. But sometimes you might say, okay, I wrote about love. I wrote about a relationship. All right, cool. So you wrote about a relationship. Good job. You wrote about the relationship, but maybe you just wrote about the breakup. Well, there were a lot of other parts to the relationship. And even if you say, hey, I wrote about the breakup, there's nothing else to write about. Well, you might have written about the way you felt about the breakup. Well, now you could go write lyrics about the way she felt about the breakup. Or you could go write lyrics about, the opportunities that were missed or something like that. I think a thing that people do who say things like that, Yazali, maybe you can confirm, is that they might go overboard with a particular song, and they might say, I'm going to just try to cover everything in the song, and it really helps to narrow and specify. So if you say there's this breakup, literally you could take all the different aspects of the breakup to write about and make it into a whole album's worth of songs. If you're running out of things to write about, you got to return to the old ones and look at them with fresh eyes, or look at an aspect of them that you haven't considered before. Good question, though. Nova Evolution. Is that you, Nathan? Been going months for writing, and sometimes I feel like I'm still learning to crawl. You will always be learning and trying. Yeah. Let's see. Can you write good lyrics without music? Yeah, it's called poetry, man. How do I know that my song is finished? Riley Noel asked that. I'm worried to send out something that feels too unfinished. Good question. So let me show you the ultimate decision of the magical songwriting process. And that is step 9, the ultimate decision. This is how you know. Well, it's kind of like what you choose to do. But number 1, you can keep it. You can say, you know what, I really like this. And in the end, what it comes down to is, what is your goal? That's the thing that people don't talk about when they're writing lyrics or when they're teaching people how to write lyrics, is you have to decide, what is my goal? Is my goal that I want to like it? That's a good goal to have. Is it my goal that I want my friend to really get something out of it, or to know that I care about my friend? Is the goal self-therapy? Is the goal to make $1 million and get a viral YouTube video, music video? You have to set your goal before you start writing. And when you reach that goal, celebrate. You made it. So you have to decide on your goal in writing. So back to the magical songwriting process. Once you get to that point where you're asking, all right, did I make the goal? You can either keep it and say, yeah, dude, I made it. I got the goal. Sweet goal. Or you can make up your mind later. Save the lyrics. Most people do this. Most lyrics they'll kind of sit in a desk drawer somewhere for about 2 months to 2 years, somewhere in there. Maybe we'll say 2 days to 2 years, anywhere in there. And then somebody will pull them out and decide, all right, I actually want to work with these. I want to alter them. Or no, you know what? Just throw them away forever. And the third thing you can always do is that even if you feel like a song didn't meet its purpose, you can always go through and pick the bones, which basically means you say, what are the parts about the song that I do like and that I'd like to use in a song in the future? Like, I really like that rhyme, or I like that metaphor, I like that idea. And then save that in your lyric bank for a future time. All right. Somebody says that I keep freezing. Oh, that's no good. Hopefully it's not hurting everybody. Is the freezing too bad, guys? Let me know. Rob Del Tony. I sometimes have a hard time turning a broad song idea into actual lyrics. Any tips? Probably get narrow. Decide a part of it that you want to talk about and look at that specific piece. How does one write meaningful lyrics for a Christmas song? Oh gosh, when you figure that one out, let me know. I don't think many people have written a meaningful lyrics for a Christmas song in a while. But if you want to find somebody who definitely has, check out Sufjan Stevens, Sufjan Stevens, and you will hear some meaningful songs from him, particularly Christmas in the Room or Christmas Unicorn. That one's a good one, but Christmas in the Room is a good one. And basically, he just does a good job of stripping away all of the distractions of what Christmas is commercially supposed to be, and asks, you know, what do I actually want here? What do I like about Christmas? So all right. Salma, one of our patrons, says, "Hi Cliff, did you study music theory? And do you have any tips on how to learn more about it?" I have self-studied music theory, but it is almost all self-study. My mom is an amazing piano player who knows a ton about it, so I've learned a little bit from her, but a lot of it has just been self-study and experimentation. All right. Let me take another look at some of the songs. Feel free, guys, if I haven't answered your question yet, just to go ahead and ask it again, as long as it's on topic. But for the moment, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other songs or these other questions that I have for us prepared from the Magical Songwriting list. If you guys look in the description, there is an opportunity to get the free Magical Songwriting process, which looks like this and is awesome. And also, when I do like streams like this, I put out a call for questions to be asked. And so that's the list that I'm going off of now as well. Let's get back to it. So how do you write specific lyrics without being too specific for people to relate to? That's a good question. Blank space is a big thing. And that may sound like a Taylor Swift reference, which it partially is. But blank space is when you are vague enough that people can kind of put their own feelings, stories, and experiences into that blank space. And so it can be a really powerful thing, and pop music uses it a lot, sometimes too much. But one thing that you can do to work on that is metaphors. Metaphors are usually a good fix for that, because you can be very specific in describing the metaphor, but it doesn't necessarily have to relate to just your problem. Similes are better if you want to tell your story, like if you say, my problem is like, or as bad as this, or something like that. That's going to be a simile, and metaphors can still be good with that too, telling your specific problems. But if you want to make it a little bit more relatable, metaphors are a good way to help people connect more quickly. Thank you, Lauren, for that question. Oh, hey, Leah, or Lay, Vronace, something like that, asks a really good question that I want to answer, very much so. What have we got here? Okay. I always find my lyrics super bad. Who can relate? In the words of... Wait, Nova? Wait, you got no more money to give? I don't... No, this free. The free Magical Songwriting process. It's free. It's free. You don't have to spend money. I'm glad you brought that up, though, because it's free. Somebody says, why Taylor Swift? Why not Taylor Swift? Okay. They always say it's free. Riley Noel likes the free Magical Songwriting process. And it was free, right, Riley? It's free, I promise. Okay, let's jump back in. I always find my lyrics super bad, even the ones I'm kind of proud of. I focus on trying to perfect that one line instead of just writing them when I get inspiration, which gets me stuck, and I start hating what I write even more. Well, to be fair, you can find joy in trying to write and fix that specific line. A lot of people are like that, where they say... Sorry, I just lost focus. Blah, 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 blah. Where was I? Instead of writing, I get inspiration. Yeah, you can really enjoy that moment of trying to perfect that specific line. There is joy in that moment. But yeah, when the inspiration hits you, you just got to draft. You got to do what I do in the morning. In the morning, I say, no social media until noon. And then I'll have a quick social media break, and I'll get back into it. I don't always follow that, but when I do, I'm happier. And what you got to say is, I'm going to draft, and I'm going to keep drafting until I'm done drafting. That is what you got to do. Yeah, I don't know. That's and you got to be less self-conscious, and you got to ask yourself, what's my goal? Is my goal to make every perfect line? And then once you figure out your goal, if your goal is to make every line perfect, I feel bad for you, but you can do it. But if that is your goal, just go for it, bruh. And then decide, like, put that up on a sticky note on your computer or something, right up there, and then say, I'm just going to keep doing this till I've accomplished this goal. So let's see if I got another question. Biggest lyric struggle is when I'm writing. That's actually a really long question, so I'm going to come back to it later. Ooh, good question, Catherine. I'll bet some of you guys probably would ask this question. How do you give a message in a song without having it sound forced, preachy, or cringy? That is a really, really good question. And it's not always easy, but I think the quickest way to do that is just to say, hey, I'm going to write from my own perspective and try to keep away from you statements, and to try to don't make a moral judgment, just make observations. So instead of being like, if you do this, your life will be better, just tell the story of a time somebody did that and their life was better without being like too overt about it. You know, you want to start a conversation. You don't want to start an argument in the lyrics that you do. Thought I heard something. Oh, I did. Hello, April.
Hey!
We are talking about song lyrics.
I figured.
Do you have any advice?
Head.
Tomato soup was good, thank you.
Cliff doesn't like tomatoes, guys. Roast him in the comments.
Just like April roasted those poor tomatoes. It's just because I want to protect the tomatoes.
What's the question?
King Cat says, can you make merch?
Can I make merch?
Do you want to make merch?
Boy, I'm not that good at sewing, guys. I might get somebody else to make it.
If you were going to make a Pop Song Professor merch, what would you make?
Tomato soup.
We will send you bowls of tomato soup.
Yes. Out of curiosity, how much do you think a bowl of tomato soup arriving via UPS is worth to you?
Yeah. How much would you guys pay for
Galaxy,
tomato soup?
hi. Oh,
Hey, Galaxy. Wow.
Galaxy wants to say
You're being
hi.
very forward.
Oh, ouchie.
That's Galaxy. She's got sharp nails. Queen April and the Unicorn King merch. Oh, that would be kind of cool. We could put April riding a Unicorn King.
Me riding Galaxy?
No.
Oh. Somebody drew me with like a vulture or something.
Oh,
and
that's
I looked
true,
like
yeah.
really BA.
That
like,
was pretty cool.
Way tougher than I am in real life. So.
Somebody says $250 for the soup. Other people say $7, and some people say $5 for the soup.
Well, we'll have to do an event. We could do a big potluck.
Depends on who made the soup. April would make the soup.
I would make the soup. It's cheaper that way.
That's great.
If you were going to do merch, what would you do?
Well, actually, that's a good question because we're about to release some merch, probably. Coming out, well, I'm getting the final design from the designer on Thursday, I think, or Wednesday. Well, it won't be the final design. It'll be the first draft. And we are going to do it's going to be cool. It's going to be, like, we talk about bad lyrics a lot. And so it's going to be, like, little pictures of 8 of the worst lyrics that I've talked about on this channel. And it's going to be, like, little cartoon stick figures. It'll be really cool. King Cat wants Cliff and April on a lion while on a rainbow in Deadpool's Mind.
I don't know if I want a shirt with Deadpool's Mind. It seems like a very dirty place. Oh, man.
Middle Mac, if you use my Unicorn King and Queen April design, I would freak out. That would be pretty awesome. If you should totally draw that shirt though. Like just get a t-shirt from the store and just get some fabric markers and draw it.
Draw your own merch. Way cheaper.
That's what we're going to do. This is the only channel on YouTube where I give you permission to draw your own merch.
Draw your own merch. We won't sue you.
Go draw your own merch.
There's no chair in here for me. I'm very bitter about it.
No, there's not. You can...
Sad. Oh, this guy asked for a tip. A tip for writing good hooks or choruses.
Try my best, but it's hard to walk the fine line between complex but also punchy catchy without being boring or repetitive.
That's a good one. So what's your tip?
I would say don't be afraid of repetition. There's a lot of things that you can do to do better at writing your chorus, your hook. But a lot of people are afraid to be repetitive because they're worried that they'll sound like some brain-dead pop star. And I would say that after you've finished writing your song, look over the whole song and ask yourself, what lines do I like the best? If you don't like any lines the best, go write some more. And then once you have those lines that you like the best, turn those into your chorus or your hook, because since they're the best, they're the ones that people want to hear a lot. But you also want to make sure that you're talking about the theme of the song and not just telling part of the story. You want to make sure that it's going to make sense to repeat it over and over again. So talking about the big idea or the big feeling or something like that, or the big thought, is a good thing to bring back there.
I think, too, while you don't have to be afraid of being complex, I don't think you have to, like, dedicate yourself to being complex either.
That's true.
A simple song can be just as beautiful and even more effective than one where you were like, it must be complex.
And this then, is my masterpiece.
Right, then, like, nobody understands it. I'm trying to think of an example, but all I can think of people who do complex songs really well. Sigh. Like Florence and the Machine, am I right?
Those are good songs, yeah.
Good. But then there's lots of people like Coldplay makes really simple music, but it's super beautiful. So, yeah, write what makes you happy.
Are there any specific songs that you would suggest to take tips from?
Ooh, please.
Sam Wiesall.
I think if you're going to be inspired by a song, my advice, and Cliff can totally disagree, is go find one that's like a little bit unusual, like not a love song, right? Find a song about something a little deeper than the stereotypical song things, and maybe that'll give you a new perspective on your own songwriting, even if you want to write a love song.
That is good.
How about you?
As like specific songs that would be good,
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, find the cleanest Eminem. What is it? His big one, like the one that everybody knows.
Spaghetti one.
The Mom's Spaghetti ones. Lose Yourself. Go and read the lyrics for Lose Yourself and look at the way that he uses sounds to connect and how he's very flexible with the sounds. That would be a really good example of a song that you can learn a lot from. And then Taylor Swift's Red has a really interesting like formulaic approach to the stanzas, and so it's a really good example for how to like organize the structure of your song. And then I would say Billy Joel's Piano Man, and look at the specific descriptions he gives of everybody and how he really makes you feel like you're there.
He really hated that song.
He did?
Yeah,
well,
he did not like it. He said it sounded like limericks, which when you think about it that way, it kind of does. But he was like, I have to play this all the time, and I don't even like this. It's not even a good song, guys. But I disagree. I think it's a good song.
It is a good song. Len the Space Wolf, could you make a song on stream? Not for a while. Victor Thiago, do you write your own songs? I do.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. I really see myself as largely a coach, but I do work on them myself because and a lot of times it's poetry too. Let's see, the last thing we need, how do you write a song about something serious like mental illness or something like that without romanticizing it? Whoa, that's a good question.
I
Galaxy, do you have an answer?
The more you can be sincere to your own experience with it, oh boy.
There's Galaxy.
She's so dark, it's hard to see her on camera.
I know. Galaxy, hey, can you pop up here? Hey. Woof. There you go. That's Galaxy.
She wants the soup.
Soup, I want soup.
Good girl.
Galaxy, you want to say hi? What words would you like to say to everybody? Oh, she's camera shy.
No words. No words.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, Galaxy.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
enduring that. We're worse than parents of newborns.
Okay. No, I think if you're trying to not be cheesy, I mean, it's not like a romanticizing moment, right? So just be really honest. And the more details you can put in about your own experience or your friends' experiences. And I would also be wary of drawing wrapping it up too neatly with a bow at the end.
Yeah, be willing to leave questions out there.
Right. Just be honest and real. And if you do that and it still feels cheesy, then maybe it needs to feel cheesy.
And sometimes, that's a good point. That's well said. I think that a lot of times, too, people don't do their research. And so maybe you've watched a TV show where you hear somebody talking about mental illness or somebody who has a mental illness on a TV show. And then you just, based on that, you write a song. Really talk to somebody who has the mental illness, do the research, even read about it on Wikipedia, get to know what other people have said so that you know the truth and can stick to the truth of it. But.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. I would even say if you don't have personal experience with the mental illness, there's probably something in your life that you have personal experience in that you could write a better song about.
You probably, that's a really well said, good point. Yeah, a lot of people want to write about the big dramatic things. But a lot of times, the little things can feel dramatic to a lot of people. And so if you write about the little dramatic things in your life, or the medium dramatic things, or even the big dramatic things if you have them, it'll be easier for people to connect to you. Oh, you getting tired?
Yeah. And fuzzy,
probably give you
out
a
of
chair.
focus.
Okay. Guys, imagine if Clifford got Tyler and Josh to do a stream like this. That would be amazing. Yes, that would be incredible. I may or may not have had a dream where I got to do that.
Aaron asked if Emin has a clean song. Questionably clean.
I don't know, maybe. Let's see. Do you know the band called Starset? I've heard of them.
No.
They were like an old Christian band from a while back, I think. Is April a professor too? No, not yet, but she's working on it, and she's going to be...
I'm going to be teaching some classes next semester, but as a graduate assistant.
Yes. So. She's going to be doing some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. How to come up with melodies? That's a good question. I feel like you can never come up with a melody because it either sucks or I feel like I might have heard it somewhere else. So I don't want to use someone else's. Amen.
Good question, Hugs Epiphany.
Hugs Epiphany. If only I had an answer for you.
Yeah. Still working on that one myself.
I used to sit down at the piano because I play piano and ukulele and a couple other little things and try to write melodies. And it was just this exercise in futility where I would just like poke the keys and be like, this is another song. Or I would be like, this sounds terrible. But I'm sure there's good tips out there. Google it maybe.
Let's see. Salma, one of our wonderful patrons, asks, I've never been in love and I never listen to love songs. So my question is, what good love songs can I listen to? I want to try and love a love song myself.
Salma, do you have parents? Do they have a song that they love about their love? Because that might make it meaningful to you.
Could be good.
Or...
Ed Sheeran writes some cheesy ones. Tyler Joseph's got a few. Tearing My Heart's a good one. There's some good Coldplay ones. Mr. Steak, the Ballad of Mr. Steak. That is a good song.
Everybody loves steak, right?
Christmas in the Room. It's also a Christmas song.
There you go.
That's a really good one.
I mean, if there's a genre you generally like, probably a love song in that genre.
Let's see. Oh, this person... Sione the Gangster gives you a chair, April.
Oh, thanks, Sione. It's not a very physical entity, though. I kind of need more than just the concept of a chair.
Aaron Ganga has this down. He says, how to write a good song. Follow the magical songwriting process.
Whoa.
Booyah!
What a tip.
That is a good tip. That is a good one. Which, link in the description, people. Where would you recommend starting in the songwriting process? Getting to know yourself, journaling, stuff like that. Tyler Vining, another one of our wonderful patrons. Cavetown has a few, but with him being aromantic, it could either help it be relatable or the opposite. Talking about love songs. Nova Evolution. How do I write about something other than my struggles? Like, I struggle to write happy songs. So
you could write a really tongue-in-cheek song about how you struggle to write happy songs.
That's a good place to start. Everybody's got to get that song out before they can keep going.
Galaxy, what in the world?
Galaxy likes to come and drag her bone all across the floor.
Yeah.
She's down there. She's right there. You can almost see her. But you can't. She's hidden from view. Ha 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 ha. Honestly, journaling is going to be another good answer, but go and do something that you enjoy. Go hang out with people you enjoy. Hang out with people that are generally positive. You'll get some more positive feelings from there. And you got to be able to find the joy in life. I think a lot of songwriting starts from being in a healthy place mentally. And when you can see the healthy thing and you experience it and you appreciate it, it'll be much easier to write a song about it.
I think, too, it can feel like this big, dark, dramatic situation, this struggle, is more exciting to hear about in a song. But we all like a happy song, too. So whatever you would do to write a song about your struggles, if you would journal an experience, if you would write down some details, however you would start that, just do the same thing but pick a happy moment. And so it can be equally authentic and have equal amounts of meaning.
Yeah. It's Nova Evaluation. Evolution. Anyway, it says, please call me Nate. Are you Nate? Are you the Nathan from... Because you got the same picture, but I don't recognize. I think it is you. Okay, anyway.
The secret Nathan.
The secret Nathan.
That we don't speak of.
The Irish Nathan.
He who shall not be
Is
named.
it the Irish Nathan? That's the question.
Dun, dun,
dun. Where are we? Yes, I'm Irish Nathan. Okay, good. Let's see. My favorite song lyric from Eminem. Favorite song is probably Lose Yourself. It's a good song. And then Lucky You is a pretty decent song from the new album. Sione de Gangster. King Cat. I'm starting a band. I need help. Could you help me? April, I'm leaving this one to you. You got to help him, King Cat, or her start a band.
I've been in a band before. I don't think we ever did much with it, but I was in a band, and it was fun for a hot second. You just got to find people, right? I think a band is such a fun way to do music because you get to kind of like bounce ideas off everybody else. Like, how fun. It's like community and this thing that you love.
Yeah.
So I would start with people. Go find some people who play an instrument or sing or whatever you don't do and are fairly good at it or maybe at the same level as you, and then just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Emma asks a good question. Sometimes I want to get some energy out and I can't journal it. Do you have any other ways of getting those emotions out? Talk to a friend can be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes listening to music that reflects your feelings can be a really good way.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
I just go for a walk a lot.
Len the Space Wolf. What advice... Oh yeah, going for a walk. Physical exercise is a good one. What advice would you give to 6ix9ine to improve his songwriting? Let me get...
Wait, that's how you say that? 6ix9ine?
Yes.
Why, friend?
Here's my advice for 6ix9ine. I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And there's April in the background, so you know this is serious. My advice is one word for him. Stop. Now.
That's so harsh. Who is this person?
He's a bad person. He's in jail for lots of stuff.
And he writes songs.
He's a thug. Yep.
An actual thug.
An actual factual thug. All right. Well, thank you. How do I build a song around the word yeet? Timothy Summerland asks.
Ask yourself why you want to write a song built around the word yeet. Maybe question that instinct. Pick a new word.
All right. Let's... I do want to tell you guys about something that I'm starting up on my channel here. I've been looking a lot around and realizing that people really want some help writing song lyrics. And so I'm doing something that I'm very, very excited about. Basically, I am going to be teaching a class or a workshop on how to write song lyrics. Basically, I am accepting 5 applications for this. And for 4 weeks, 5 live sessions, me and these 5 people are going to go through one song from each of them every week in like a live stream format, talking about it. We'll have our own Discord server or Facebook group, and we're going to be analyzing these lyrics together. That will also involve getting access to my How to Write Original Lyrics That Sound Good course, all 30 lessons, as well as maybe some other courses that'll be showing up as time goes on. So it's going to be a huge undertaking. The first lesson starts January 5th, and then it's going to be every Saturday after that. It'll be a lecture, a workshop, and then some video lessons to go and watch. It's going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to take some people who are really serious about the craft of songwriting, and I know there are some people who don't have financial resources to be able to dedicate towards it, but if you are serious about songwriting and you're looking to really take your lyrics to the next level, we are calling it Lyric Hero, the Lyric Hero Workshop, maybe also the Lyric Hero Boot Camp. We'll see. Names are a little bit up in the air right now, but it's going to be about $500 worth of content for about and personal coaching and experience and things like that for about $197. So if you are interested in that, email me, clifford@popsongprofessor.com. There are only 5 slots, and I'm expecting all of them to be gone very quickly here. It's a channel with 120,000 people, so if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Email me, clifford@popsongprofessor.com, the Lyric Hero Workshop. People are incensed that I'm not giving you a seat.
Oh, yeah, I know. My legs are sore.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm really tired,
April,
guys.
this is her workout for the day.
Excuse you!
We all have to exercise. I had to walk some stairs at work.
Oh, yeah, I went to Walmart. That counts.
April is down here petting Galaxy. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
There's Galaxy.
She, like,
the
runs
silhouette.
exactly into my shirt. I promise you can
Look,
see her in real
I'm
life.
Galaxy. Hey, Galaxy, look up here.
Yes.
Woof, woof. Come on. Come on. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Woof, woof. Ah, don't lick me. I don't like that.
He's wagging her tail, but between her legs. Cute. Good dog.
All right. Well, all right, you can have the chair.
Get thy wife a chair. Or are we sharing?
Give her a seat. No, you can have the whole chair.
We can share.
I didn't realize April was going to stick around so long. I'm glad that she did. But I kept thinking, like, oh, she's not going to be here that much longer. That's why I didn't give her the chair. Justice for April.
Thanks, guys.
God, domestic abuse anyone. King Cat, you're hilarious.
Strudel, you came too.
Oh, no. Go away, Strudel. You're the annoying one.
He's the one who chews things. He's the one that's putting all these books on the floor and here in danger.
Let's see what other questions we have. That's a long question. Let's find a short one.
Look, you can see Strudel's face.
Where's Strudel's? Oh, there's Strudel. Look at him. He's so brain dead looking. What a dope. What a dope, that guy.
There's no sponsorships today, Strudel.
Go away, Strudel.
You can't be here.
You can't come back till you bring some sponsorships.
You come with sponsorships.
Somebody wants me to give you all the chair now, Emma says.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. No. Look, I have less than 50% of the chair. It's chivalry. Chivalry is not dead.
It was dead for a while, but I think you guys revived it.
Aaron says he sent me an email. Notice me.
Ooh.
What did he say? I don't see your email.
Friend, do you have the wrong address?
Unless it's deeper in here. I don't usually take requests to check my email live.
They can't all see that, can they?
No.
Oh, good.
Nope, they can't see
Top
my
secret.
email. Aaron, I don't see your email, my dude. Where did it go? Anyway, this is not quality. This is the quality entertainment. What should I name my fish? I'll let April work on that one while I find the next question.
You should name your fish Navi after Zelda's little... Not Zelda, Link's little fairy companion in Zelda.
That is a good one. Yep, do it. Navi. Okay. So, Timothy Summerlin, I know your email. Everybody knows my email. Not Nazi. No. Navi. N-A-V-I.
N-A-V-I.
My goodness.
Not Nazi.
Adpocalypse 3.0. Okay. Zelda is not a boy. Zelda is the girl. Link is the boy.
Link is the boy. Yeah.
Name your fish Yeet.
Maybe,
that's a good one.
Maybe don't do that.
Okay. What do you do when you have a bunch of one-liner lyrics that you can't seem to stitch together? Great question.
That is a good question.
Sometimes if you take those lyrics and you kind of develop around those one lines and you use them as like the seed that you plant the stanza with, you can kind of turn them into their own stanzas. Or you even can take the one-liners and use them to establish new songs. Sometimes, though, you take those one-liners and you can put them all in the chorus and try to transition them. But people have to be willing, to kill their darlings. And what I mean by that,
I was going to say that.
Were you? Okay,
yeah.
Explain it. Go for it.
Okay, so basically, you might come into the song and be like, I really want to say, I don't know, I love you like an avocado. And you, like, really want to say that, and that's, like, your deepest desire for this song is just to say that one phrase. And then you get into your song and you realize that really it would be better without that. And that happens a lot. Like, it's like if you read a book and they just, like, refuse to kill this one character who clearly needs to die. That's, I think, where it comes from. This idea that whatever it is you're holding on to the tightest might be the thing that's really bringing you down.
Oh, Zalma points out in a live stream that we had for patrons, we talked about how maybe killing your darlings was a little bit much, so we need to kidnap our darlings instead. Because we can save them and put them in the lyric bank and use them later.
I think the idea is to just, like, cut it off.
Get rid of it.
Goodbye, avocado. Right?
A couple of other people sent me emails. Cool.
Boy, a lot of people are emailing you.
We are getting some emails. Hey, it looks like we have at least one person who's interested in the class. Gonna use some of that Christmas money. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely get back to you very soon. That's 1 out of 5 slots, guys. Going fast. As I said. Probably.
Sometimes I feel like I just skip like 6 or 7 comments in the chat. And then I'm super confused. Like, this person is saying, Emma Eschweiler. Eschweiler? Why are you putting fish on your feet? Stop it. What? How did we get there? This feels like a multi-step process. So, Shoni the gangster is trying to get us to help him do his math homework.
Nope, not gonna fall
Not
for that
gonna
one.
do it.
Besides, neither of us are math people. We'd probably mess it up anyway.
I'm good at math. Pardon you.
Okay, let me get us another question.
While Cliff's doing that, do any of you guys ever chop onions and it doesn't hurt your eyes, but then like 2 hours later your eyes start hurting from the onions and you're like, why? Where did this come from? Does that ever happen to anybody else? Curious. I can't actually see your comments right now because Cliff took that away from me, but comment to me about the onions, guys.
Do onions hurt you? Wow. Not only did you come to this live stream to ask questions, but you're also getting questions asked of you.
Yeah, that's right. I need to know, am I alone? Aaron says yes. Thank you, Aaron.
OMG, April, yes. No, it doesn't. Yes, but it's usually the depression that causes the
Oh, no!
Alejandro! What should I name my cat? I agree with somebody else earlier. Name it King. Definitely should name your cat King Cat.
Oh, after King Cat. Name your cat whatever you want.
Name your cat
friend.
Cliff. Name your cat after me.
Okay, you know what I learned recently about onion chopping, guys? Is that people with contacts can get away without any pain. That's the contact advantage. Unfair. Although I guess they have to wear contacts, so maybe it is fair. It's fair. I take it back.
You could go wear contacts too.
I could.
Yes, name your cat Clifford the Big Red Dog. Nathan, that is a good idea.
That would be such a silly name for a cat. I need somebody who named their rabbit Turtle.
Alejandro. Oh, that's a good one too. Alejandro appreciates you rolling the R. That is good.
Oh,
April
yeah.
speaks Spanish.
Alejandro, puedo hablar en español solo un poco.
Sí. Okay.
Cliff can't speak Spanish at all.
Un poco.
Un poco.
Un poquito.
One time, Cliff was asking for nachos in a restaurant, and instead he asked for no chase. That's still my favorite. Okay.
All right, next question. So I'm not a patron, in parentheses, yet, Julian says. Haha, but if I can still ask a question, it would be, what's the best way to go about writing a song if you're writing it with at least one other person? Oh, that's a good question. I tried writing a song for somebody else twice, and both times I hated the process. One time somebody had put together music and they wanted me to like write these particular lyrics, and they didn't let me choose what I wanted to write about, and so I didn't like that. That was boring. And then another one, it was for a collab with somebody, and they're a very positive, uplifting channel, and so they were like, yeah, write something that's like super happy and positive.
Oh no.
And I like thought about it for like 5 minutes.
I
emailed them.
that.
Yeah, I emailed them. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I tried for like 5 minutes to write something. I emailed them back. I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's not that I don't like positive, uplifting stuff, but I was just like, I'm not going to just write something so that people can be happy. I'm going to write what I'm feeling, and I don't want to try to feel that.
You just want to try to feel happy, guys.
I agree with Nathan. You can have somebody else write the music and somebody else write the lyrics, but you have to be able to write the lyrics you want to write. Or that you feel inspired. The other person can give suggestions, but if they're like, write X, Y, and Z, that can be really boring.
I agree with King Cat. Despacito.
You dork.
Oh,
see what I have to deal with? I'm the one who keeps things running around here.
Not true.
That is true. Sort of. Yeah, you're right. It's not that true.
People are making fun of your Spanish speaking.
Cliff can no speako españolo.
Despacito. Guys, it's devolving.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It has been an hour. It's been great answering questions with you guys. I hope that everybody was able to learn something. And thank you to those of you who contributed questions or answers. Remember, if you are interested in getting to be in that course, like I said, it is about a $500 value worth of courses, lessons, workshopping, all that good stuff. And it'd be a really great way to take your lyrics from zero to hero is the idea. I'm trying to write original lyrics that sound good It's Lyric Writing Boot Camp. It's going to be awesome. So hope that you guys, if you are interested in it, will check it out. Clifford@popsongprofessor.com. Email me. Get on the waiting list. There's only 5 spots. So
That's right. And Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate.
yes. All of them. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.